assortment, 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 assortment of eclectic, 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 ASMR, eclectic ASMR, eclectic ASMR, eclectic, eclectic, eclectic ASMR. Hello. Welcome back to my desk for today's check-in. I just want to make sure that you did at least something for yourself this weekend. Making sure that you're keeping yourself well, making sure that you're keeping yourself feeling alright, and making sure that you're like taking at least like half an hour to just like take a breath. I know it's difficult, especially if you work a weekend. If you work weekends, this does not apply to you. You're surviving, and that's exactly what you need to be doing. But I definitely hope that if you had the days off, or one of the days off during the weekend, I hope that you are doing decent. I know I'm taking like a little bit of focus on taking days off, but yes, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much just for being here, for being here, for being here, being here, being here, being here. Thank you. So, guess what we're doing? Guess what we're doing? We are coloring. We are coloring. We are coloring. Coloring again. We're coloring again because I want to, and also it's just like fun to have like an extra little thing to do. I don't know, like I think it's difficult. It's definitely difficult to get myself into like hobbies and things like that when I do such involved work, or if I have a really long week at work, just because it's easy for me to just like check out, which I know I shouldn't be doing, because keeping my mind busy makes my days off feel longer. So this is my way of making my day feel longer. It's like late afternoon right now, but it seems like weirdly dark outside, but I promise you it's not like nighttime. This does look like my nighttime light. It's not. We have the Moroccan oud candle on again, the Moroccan oud candle on again, which I'm actually loving. I know I said I don't necessarily like oud smells, but this just has like a cocoa kind of scent to it that's absolutely amazing. I need to talk about, like, I don't wear fragrance generally. I only wear it on very rare occasions. But I should like do a video talking about them, just because it's fun to like read about things and like describe things in great detail, to kind of like, I don't know, it gets into that white noise kind of thing, like describing random objects kinds of videos, which I find very relaxing, if I'm trying to like zone out. But I've got the pencil crayons back, and we're going to get started. I think this planet I'm going to do in like grays, and greens, kind of make it like a toxic kind of world. Like, let's say, I don't know, this is totally hypothetical, but let's say the species that lived on it destroyed their planet with greenhouse gases. That doesn't sound familiar, does it? But yeah, we're gonna do this like really toxic kind of planets. I'm gonna do the atmosphere, this metallic green, the paper made flare in this metallic green color, does have some shinies in it. It has some sparklies in it. So it's like this planet has been so irradiated that it's like literally glowing. It's literally glowing. It's literally glowing. My trigger word game is on point today. Literally glowing. Literally glowing. Literally glowing. Literally glowing. Literally glowing. Literally glowing. Like my glow sticks. 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 Okay. Now, like I said, I'm going to do the gray as kind of the base. It's like this planet is totally covered in industry. This planet is totally covered in industry. This planet is just like totally covered in industry. I really like science fiction aesthetics. I know you can't really tell. You can't really tell when I do my book recommendations because I talk about fantasy a lot, and I love fantasy. But science fiction, I think I love the aesthetic and like the mood of more. I don't know why. Like for example, and like not even like big, sort of wild, crazy science fiction, but like even just like in the next couple hundred years kind of science fiction is really even interesting to me as well. Like the video game Starfield that came out in September of last year, 2023. The like aesthetic of that game I think is so perfect, and like this idea of like where could humanity be in 100 years? Where could humanity be in a couple hundred years? That kind of thing. It's really interesting questions to ask. I also think that science fiction is just really fascinating in like how it theorizes about like how things will be or how things might look. You know what? I'm actually going to use a pen to color in this next little bit. I hope it's not too dark. It's not too dark. No, I think it's perfect. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah, like the aesthetic of science fiction, and like the questions that it asks. Oh, and like the fact that it's kind of forward thinking. Like you think about how many things were predicted by science fiction authors that we have like today, now, and like it's so fascinating to think like what are those things that we predict or that we write about today that are going to be like just like regular technology in the future. Like I think there was that one science fiction author, I can't remember who, predicted like cellular phones and like this idea that there would be like methods of communication that we just carry in our pocket and things like that, which I think is so neat and interesting, especially because like sometimes science fiction authors can see into the future better than our scientists can, because they are just doing like an exercise in speculation kind of thing. So I think it's just fascinating to think about all that kind of like what could be, and science fiction really helps us do that. Like I know it was meant to be this kind of soul-crushing thing, but like if you watched the Star Wars series Andor, that prison that they send Andor to is just fascinating. Not only is it like really wildly good political commentary, but it's also just like this heart-crushing, like soul-sapping place, and you really feel the hopelessness. I don't know. I think that that show did such a fantastic job with like its general vibes that it was wanting to sort of like give, and I think it did it so well. And like this idea of anti-fascism and stuff like that is really just interesting, and it's encouraging to see like a really mainstream media franchise go there and like be just brave enough to go there. But yeah, so it's like also a really good way for us, like science fiction can be a really good way for us to explore like genuine political themes today, like the idea of a security state, like a surveillance state, a prison state, that kind of thing, where like there's modern day parallels, maybe not to the extreme that Andor portrays them, but like there's definitely elements of truth there. And like I know in that book recommendation video I recommended a book by Becky Chambers, To Be Taught If Fortunate, and I think that's also like a really interesting angle for sci-fi, that book, because it's like literally what could the world look like in the next 50 years kind of thing. So I thought that was fascinating as well. I think the next planet I'm just gonna start with this sort of brown muddish mud kind of color and see where that takes me. I think I'll do it as like the backing. Oh, it's more of a, it's not, it's a lighter brown than I thought it would be. Okay. I think I know what I'll do with this one. This one is going to be like a swamp kind of idea. And I think I'm actually going to break out the greens again. I think I'm going to break out the greens again. There we go. Hopefully the coloring sounds are really translating. Sometimes I find that when there's just like sort of not dead space, but like when there's sort of moments of silence in ASMR videos, I can really appreciate that, just because sometimes it's nice to just live in that silence. I think we forget how silence can really be quite relaxing and like a bit of a sanctuary almost in certain contexts. There we go. So I'm gonna do, yeah, I think this will be my swamp. This will be my swamp world, so I'm gonna do it in a darker brown. I'm just gonna test them. I'm just gonna test these two. Let's see. This looks like it'll be the lighter brown. This looks like it'll be the lighter brown. Kind of has a reddishness to it. Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing the darker stuff. The darker brown, the darker brown. Yeah. Like I said, it's got that kind of like swamp thing going on, the swamp thing going on. And then maybe I'll do like a teal, color. Yeah, I think I will. Oh, my hand is cramping up already. With my mom and my grandma, I did some soapstone carving, like you can just find on Etsy. Like these pre-cut figures that are cut in soapstone, and you can like use sandpaper. so far, but we were doing that last night, and like carving into soapstone, you have to really grab a hold of that nail, and it's just, it is torture for the hands. It's torture for the hands. There, and this one is gonna have like a nice sort of bright blue, or maybe a deeper blue atmosphere. Let's see, yeah, this is perfect. But yeah, so my hands are really feeling it. My hands are really feeling it, right now. Maybe I'll do another one of these planets as like an ocean planet or something like that. Just like a nice, beautiful blue, lush ocean. It would be really cool. It'd be really cool to see like another planet just up close, to like land on it and just like walk around for a second or two just to see what's going on. That's why that To Be Taught If Fortunate book is in like my top books, because it's just got such a compelling narrative in that way that I just really, really enjoy. This next planet, we're going full. The next planet, we're going full pink. We're going like full pink. Yeah, anyway, that Has To Be Taught If Fortunate book, it's got such a compelling description of what life could look like on other planets, and like it's got such a good understanding of like biology and like the genius to write about biology that doesn't even exist. Like it's just, Becky Chambers is truly a genius, is absolutely a genius for sure. It's just incredible to think about like what she could like come up with in terms of like what could our future look like. Oh, it's just, I could talk about that book for hours, about how just like such an interesting premise it is, and such an interesting exploration of like human relationships, and also like what human space exploration could be and what it could look like and all that good stuff. There. I'm picturing this pink planet absolutely as like Ooh from Adventure Time or something like that. Which is a great show, by the way. It's absolutely adorable. It's just adorable. It's absolutely adorable. I think this went here and then this went here. It's hard to keep track of these sometimes. And like what goes where, and like what colors match with other colors. Oh, wonderful. This is a nice color. Just as like a nice deep purple soil. Just a deep purple soil color. I really do think that I'm gonna do an over-explaining objects video, because since I just mentioned that at the beginning, I think it's a really interesting concept, and I think it's got, you can really expand on it, and like a reading label kind of thing, possibly, just to see like how far I can take that sort of white noise, lo-fi kind of thing, because I think like lo-fi ASMR is where I like started watching ASMR. Asking me when dinner is, like I said, it's late afternoon, moving into evening now. But what was I gonna say? Oh gosh. Oh, lo-fi ASMR. Yeah, lo-fi ASMR. Sorry, you can hear the whistle in my throat. Lo-fi ASMR is kind of where I got my start watching ASMR, and I think it's just such an underappreciated kind of art form, I guess. And there are so many incredibly talented lo-fi ASMR artists. Like, I truly think that ASMR Slay is a fantastic example of a lo-fi ASMR artist, because it's just like this really down-to-earth kind of thing going on with ASMR Slay, and like it's just kind of like a friend that you know is speaking with you. I think that's kind of where ASMR shines. I think, like, I know there are some people in my comment section who talk about like not being generally very comfortable with the people who take ASMR to such a level where it's like there's no like hello person to person. Like, I know I haven't been looking at the camera a ton this video, but I have good reason for that. But where the human element is kind of removed from the ASMR, which, like, if you enjoy that, if you enjoy like I think ASMR Zeitgeist is a fantastic example of this, because ASMR Zeitgeist, very talented, very talented, but I think the connection is lost somewhere along the way. And like, there are some people who do just enjoy sound ASMR. There are some people who can't stand whisper ASMR, which is like perfectly valid. My mom has misophonia, and she hates like chewing sounds. She hates whispering sounds when they're like really close up. So ASMR is really like off the table for her. But yeah, it's just interesting to to watch certain segments of ASMR kind of lose the personal touch of just like normal. Like, for example, the first ever ASMR video I watched was like in 2018, and this was when ASMR Darling put out like 100 triggers in 100 minutes, or 100 favorite ASMR triggers, or something like that. It's got like probably millions of views at this point, but I really liked it because there was that element of connection there, and there was like a really human touch that ASMR Darling brought, which is so greatly appreciated on my end, because I think that's what kind of got me into it, because I was like, this is interesting and intriguing. What could this be? And of course it kind of evolved into me figuring out that I absolutely loved it, because there's that element of like connection and being around somebody and speaking with somebody, just kind of as like a fun little chilled out chat. And I think that's why I started gravitating towards more whisper ASMR, rather than like trigger and like here's a 3 hours of tapping kind of video. I think I enjoyed the personality of different ASMR artists. Like, I'm a very vocal, huge fan of Matt ASMR, like Matt's ASMR, because there's so much personality there, there's so much connection there, there's so much genuine care there, and there's no judgment there, which I really absolutely love, because I'm a person, and I've been quite open about this, but I'm a person who doesn't get like traditional ASMR down the spine tingles very often at all. And I think the relaxing part of it for me is just listening to whispering, which of course gets my brain into that sort of like calm down kind of mood. And then also the fact that it's kind of like there's a person there with me is really like the comforting aspect of it really speaks to me. So I think that's where I get my style from, where there's a lot of human connection that I want to try to facilitate here, and a lot of like safety that I want to try to facilitate here, so that nobody is feeling as if they've got anything to prove to come into this space, or like they have to be a certain way to come into this space. So I think that's something that I really want to are so greatly appreciated. You have no idea just how much it is. It is so heartening to hear and to see the amount of love that I've been getting, which is just like so wonderful to hear and to like interact with all of you. It just, you all warm my heart. You all warm my heart. So thank you. Even if you're just like, even if your only interaction with me is this, like listening to me color and listening to some like scratching on paper sounds, if that is all that you're here for, thank you for being here. And if this is your last video, or if this is your first video, welcome and thank you so much for being here. But yeah, anyway, it's just so nice that something that I consider my favorite hobby has now become like a little community of people that I look forward to interacting with and chatting with and all this. So like I say, thank you. I say a massive thank you at the end of every video because it's what you all deserve for warming my heart every single time I'm on here. So thank you. And every single time I post, and like I look forward to it in editing and all this kind of stuff. And like even down to all of you like counseling me on this mic to try to make sure that it sounds proper, which is still a work in progress. This is the first time I'm using this mic in weeks. Like I don't think I used it since the Alocasia video, just because like it's such a difficult thing to nail down, like what is the cause of such bad background noise. And the answer is just sometimes, well, this thing is not the perfect mic. But do you know what is perfect? The next 4 planets in our series. Very honestly, I know it's a weird color combo, but I think this one is my favorite. There is like the pollution kind of world. This is Ooh from Adventure Time, and this is our ocean planet. I think I'm in love. With this coloring page. I'll definitely not wait as long of a time before I get back into doing like to finish off this page. And then the next page is really good too. To like color in. There's a whole bunch of pages in this where there's like some stuff. Like it's got elements that I can color in, and they're like separate, so I can kind of like draw lines there. The one that I was working on myself is this one right here, where I've got just a few things colored in